I'm joined today by Josh Abneri, Director of Addressable Strategy at Kinesso. Josh, it's a pleasure to speak with you today.
Happy to be here, Tom.
According to eMarketer, digital audio is expected to grow by 50% by 2026, and programmatic digital audio spend is expected to exceed $1.8 billion. From your point of view, how do you attribute the growth in managed service campaigns moving to programmatic?
Yeah, I would say it's not just audio, but I would say pretty much every other channel in the space is moving towards that programmatic push. And I think it really has to do with procurement having a larger say in marketing efforts. Clients want better insights and measurable results in real time. And programmatic provides this to clients, and it allows them to have more control and make necessary changes based on their business needs and also on performance metrics.
Yeah, I think video is such a big part of the industry programmatically and has gotten the bulk of the attention and resources. And over the past few years, you've seen investment in audio and platforms and measurement partners that support audio. So I think the technology is slowly starting to catch up, and I'm excited to see where we go over the coming years. Diving deeper into this, what do you think has to happen for the industry to continue on this growth trajectory over the next 2 to 3 years?
I would have to say it has to be the creative. And I think it's one of the most overlooked aspects of the entire process. But if you have a poor creative where it's not entertaining, it's not engaging, it doesn't have clear messaging or a clear call to action, you could have the perfect campaign setup and it'll just go all out the window. I think a lot of clients don't focus on this as much, and this is one of the key aspects. And it is challenging in audio, especially because you only have the ability to engage your audience with the auditory process, and that is challenging because you don't have those visual aids. And because of that, you have to ensure that your creative is on point and make sure to draw that user in.
That's a great point. I think too often the creative is overlooked. When you look at how listeners interact with the content, if you're on your mobile device, your screen is off, your phone is in your pocket. If you're listening on a smart speaker, there is no companion banner. So you want to make sure messaging is engaging enough for the end listener. If you look at how DAX's content interacts with our listeners throughout the day, you may be listening to a smart speaker in the morning. You're listening on your mobile device on the way to work, on your desktop or laptop at work, and then the inverse on the way home. Messaging should be different based on device, time of day, mood of your end listener. So I think the overall messaging and dynamic creative optimization is very important for a successful campaign. Looking back, what do you think has been successful in helping programmatic, specifically digital audio, get to where we are today?
Yeah, I think it's a twofold process. I think from a consumer side, I think the fact that more people are consuming digital audio than they ever have before is a huge thing. You have people streaming more music than ever before. You have people streaming more podcasts and streaming more audiobooks. From an advertising perspective, I think one of the biggest advantages is that digital audio is virtually cookieless. As we're entering that world of third-party cookie deprecation, one of the biggest challenges that clients have is to try to navigate through a cookieless world. And audio is already set up for that. And I think it's already going to see a big advantage where clients don't have to make any significant changes to their targeting abilities. And I think that audio is going to be able to take advantage of this and grow significantly from it.
I think that's a great point. There's so much audio inventory that is cookieless that we've had to develop probabilistic and contextual targeting features in order to ensure we're reaching the right audience. So it's certainly something audio overall is ahead of the rest of the industry in. I think another key part of supporting the growth of digital audio has been the expansion of inventory. We've moved beyond just streaming audio and podcasts. We now have audio articles on every major website. We have ad-supported audiobooks. We have audio digital out of home, audio and retail media. So in-game audio and CTV. So the increase in inventory, along with what you were mentioning, I think has really helped grow and get us to where we are today. Shifting gears a bit, though, what are some of the exciting emerging trends you see in programmatic and digital audio over the next few years?
I hate to say it, but it would definitely be AI. And I know it's almost cliche at this point, but advertising, like virtually every other industry, is going to be fundamentally impacted by it. It's going to impact the way we operate, whether it be from the creative side, how DSPs and SSPs utilize it, to improving and augmenting our workflow and processes. Even at Kinesso, we're being diligent to work with clients to provide recommendations on how to best leverage it and to ensure that clients are doing so properly. But I think from an industry perspective, I think we need to make sure that we avoid the typical pitfalls that we fall into, especially the ones we saw in the early days of digital, and make sure to root out all the bad actors sooner than later.
That's a great point, and it's exciting to see how AI will continue to be involved in digital audio. I think now advertisers and agencies may use it for first drafts of creatives or some high-level insights from reporting, but there's certainly a lot of room for growth, and it's exciting to see the data we're going to be able to pull from these results once AI is more widely accepted throughout the industry. Josh, before we wrap, is there anything else you would like to discuss today?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest things is that a lot of people get caught up in the minutia of things, but lose sight on the big picture. As an advertiser, one of our main responsibilities is to make sure that we're doing right by our client and making sure we're providing them the best path forward to achieve their goals. But at the same time, we need to make sure we're doing right by the consumer. We're making creatives that are engaging, entertaining, and have clear messaging, but also ensure that when we're reaching our intended audiences, we're doing so ethically and in data compliant manner, and making sure that overall ad experience is an enjoyable one. Because if it's not an enjoyable one, there's going to be an increase in aversion to advertising, and there's going to be negative brand perception for those specific clients. So I think as long as we could avoid those pitfalls and those mistakes, we have a better chance to move forward, especially in this new future.
That's a great point. I think user experience can be improved in a lot of ways by replacing an intrusive video and display ads with an audio unit. So you've seen the rise of audio, in-game audio, replacing video units. So I think DAX is focused on how can we deliver audio to a consumer in a non-intrusive way so they do have that enjoyable user experience. Josh, it was a pleasure speaking with you today, and I look forward to speaking again soon.
Thanks for having me, Tom, and looking forward to next time.